Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, the second lecture is about damped and forced electromagnetic oscillation. As you see that we have free oscillation, damped oscillation, and forced oscillation. And what is the difference between the three? That is free oscillation, damped oscillation, and forced oscillation. Free oscillation means that F is, for example, in mechanics, F is equal to minus kx. When there is no damping media and the energy of the oscillating body is constant, no decrease in the amplitude of the oscillating body, then that type of oscillation will be a free oscillation, of course. While in case of damped oscillation, often you see that, for example, if you take a simple pendulum and if you oscillate it and that left it for oscillation, after some time you will see that the amplitude of the oscillating body decreases and decreases. Ultimately, the amplitude of the oscillating body goes to zero. Why it is so? The energy is dissipated in other form because of the damping media. For example, if there is air resistance, or you have set your system in a fluid, say, or simply you say that there is a damping media for the oscillation, then the amplitude of the oscillating body will be no more constant, but it will decreases with time. Ultimately, it goes to zero. This is the damped oscillation, where damping media is present. In free oscillation, there is no such damping media. While in case of, for example, F is equal to minus kx minus bv, this is the equation for the damped oscillation. While in case of forced oscillation, you must provide an external force plus Fm, F naught cos omega t plus omega double prime t plus 5, for example. This is the equation for the forced oscillation in case of simple mechanics. Means, for example, if there is a simple pendulum and you oscillate that pendulum, if you constantly apply a periodic force on the pendulum, then the magnitude of that pendulum remain constant. Because the energy which is dissipated in case of damping, that energy has been overcome by the applied force, F naught cos omega double prime t plus 5. This is the difference between free oscillation, damped oscillation, and forced oscillation. While in case of LC circuit, for example, if there is no resistance, only in the circuit you have an inductor and capacitor, then that oscillation is a free one. But if there is a resistance in the circuit, then you see the amount of energy will be dissipated across the resistance. So that is like a damped one. While in case of forced oscillation, if you apply or if you attach an electromotive force, a source such as battery, etc., which keep the current in the circuit constant and give that amount of energy which is dissipated in the circuit and give that amount of power which is dissipated in the circuit. So that of oscillation you can take it forced oscillation. So in this case we take LC circuit. In real LC circuit, a resistance R is always present, although we assume it that there is no resistance at all, but in actual way or in the real sense there is a resistance also in the circuit. Resistance is nothing but it is the position of free electron with the atom in the lattice. Resistance opposes the motion of free electron, and the energy of electron is now dissipated in this case. Due to the resistance, the total energy is not constant. While in case of free oscillation LC circuit, we have taken that there is no resistance at all of the circuit, so energy was constant. But in this case, the total energy is not constant, but decreases with time. It is dissipated as internal energy in the resistance. And in the first case, there was no resistance, so energy was not dissipated. Total amount of energy in the last topic you have seen, total amount of energy was constant. But in this case, as there is a resistance in the circuit, so some amount of energy of the charges or free electrons, or in this case say charges, is spent due to the resistance. So the total amount of energy in this case is not constant. Then the equation is total electromagnetic energy is given by, as we know that U is equal to UB plus UE, where UB stands for magnetic energy stored in the magnetic field in case of inductor, and UE is the electrical energy that is stored in the electric field of a capacitor. Already done this. UB is equal to 1 by 2 Li square, where L is inductor and C is capacitor. Putting value here in the above equation, U will become 1 by 2 Li square plus Q square divided by 2C. Now again differentiated with respect to time, du by dt will be equal to, du by dt will be equal to, ये तो मैंने वैसे एग्जांपल आप लोगों को दिया था, ये इसके साथ नहीं है, एक्सप्लेनेशन के लिए मैंने इसको किया था, यानी ये है du by dt. अब क्लियर होगा. du by dt is equal to 1 by 2 L d by dt of I square plus 1 by 2 C d by dt of Q square. This will become du by dt is equal to 2 by 2 Li in di by dt plus 2 by 2 Q by C d Q by dt. 2 cancel करें तो du by dt is equal to Li di by dt plus Q by C dq divided by dt. अच्छा ओके, पहले इससे जो हमने टॉपिक किया था लेक्चर 1 में, इसमें हमने du by dt को 0 लिया था. क्यों लिया था? इसलिए कि वहाँ रेजिस्टेंस को हमने इग्नोर किया था कि रेजिस्टेंस नहीं है. और इधर आप देख रहे हैं कि इट इज़ लाइक डैम्प्ड, क्योंकि लफ्ज़ डैम्प्ड का इस्तेमाल है, उसमें डैम्प का इस्तेमाल नहीं था, तो इधर ये रेजिस्टेंस जो ये डैम्पिंग का किरदार अदा कर रहा है, तो ये आपको एनर्जी डिसिपेट करेगा. और एनर्जी डिसिपेशन इन केस ऑफ रेजिस्टेंस वो आई स्क्वायर आर के बराबर है, विच इज़ इक्वल टू Li di by dt plus Q by C dq divided by dt. Negative sign here represent the decrease of energy. Decrease of energy. So this equation become, इसको उधर ले जाएं, Li di by dt plus I square r plus Q by C dq by dt, तो I के बराबर है, that is equal to 0. और you can write I जो है इधर अगर आप देखें I सबसे कैंसिल करें, ये कैंसिल हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, तो L di by dt प्लस एक तो गया इससे I r प्लस Q by C इज इक्वल टू 0. या इसको इस अंदाज में भी लिख सकते हैं कि L d by dt और करंट किस चीज़ के बराबर है, dq by dt प्लस r I किस चीज़ के बराबर है, dq by dt प्लस q by c इज इक्वल टू 0. और आप ये क्वेश्चन जो है आपके पास आ जाता है, यानी d स्क्वायर बाई डी टी स्क्वायर इंटू क्यू प्लस r बटा l dq by dt प्लस q 1 और l c इज इक्वल टू 0. यानी पूरी क्वेश्चन को l पे डिवाइड किया गया है, डिवाइडिंग बाई l. So the above equation, and the solution of this equation is q is equal to qm e minus rt divided by 2l cos omega double prime t, suppose plus 5. What is Q? Q is an instantaneous charge. What is Qm? That is the maximum charge. And you see here, you see exponential form. So it means that the decrease, in this case, the charge which is going to be decreased is in exponential way. This is an exponential graph. Yani this is the charge at the beginning when capacitor was maximum charge. So gradually you see it decreases with time, and the amplitude of oscillating system decreases with time because the resistance is present and the resistance dissipates energy. While in the first case there was no resistance, and the graph in that case was not in exponential form, where omega double prime has a value omega square minus r by 2l whole square. There is the difference between omega and omega double prime. What is the difference between two? This is the initial frequency, and this is the frequency due to forced oscillation. This is the initial frequency, and this is the frequency due to forced oscillation. Now what will happen when both the frequency, that is natural and forced oscillation, become equal? Then you will have a resonance phenomena. You will have a resonance phenomena. For example, is I am taking that the soldiers are marching on the bridge, but whenever they are in the march position, they are ordered to break up their footstep. Why it is so? Because in order to avoid the resonance phenomena, because bridge is also made of the atoms, molecules, and that has its own natural frequency. If the natural frequency of the bridge become equal to the force frequency, which is जो कि वो क्या कर रहा है, मार्च की हालत में वो सोल्जर उस पर अप्लाई कर रहा है, अगर दोनों जो है दे आर बिकम इक्वल तो रेजोनेंस अकर होगा, एम्पलीट्यूड ऑफ द वाइब्रेशन जो है इंक्रीज होगा. इस फिनोमेना को क्या कहते हैं? रेजोनेंस कहते हैं. जब एम्पलीट्यूड इंक्रीज होगा तो क्रेक्स का क्या है? क्रेक्स का मतलब है कि वो हादसा होता है. इसलिए जब सोल्जर जो है वो क्या करते हैं, उसको मार्च की हालत में ब्रिज पे जाते हैं तो उसे कहा जाता है कि ये डिसकंटिन्यू फॉर्म में जाएं, यानी बिल्कुल एक ही उसमें न जाएं, ताकि ऐसा ना हो कि आपकी जो ये पीरियडिक फोर्स है फुट की वजह से वो वहाँ उसकी जो नेचुरल फ्रिक्वेंसी और ये फ्रिक्वेंसी बराबर हो, और क्या होगा, रेजोनेंस अकर होगा, एम्पलीट्यूड जो है फिर क्या होगा, वो इंक्रीज़ होगा. तो इस तरीके से इसको हम एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. अगर इसके बारे में या इससे पहले टॉपिक के बारे में कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो आप लोग मुझे उस पर व्हाट्सएप पे वॉइस कॉल पे पूछ सकते हैं.